Okay, so seems like I had a bit of a snag in trying to get things set up with the 3D variation of VTuber World. However, I think we can probably make amends somewhere with a little bit of finagling. But we have our next subject, who's coming in from the high seas, and we might as well just give him a nice warm welcome. So things are going to be a little bit different than expected, so just bear with us. Just bear with us just for a bit of a moment as we kind of figure things out. So we're going to get things ready in 3.
What's up?
2, and hold on.
Yo ho ho.
Yo ho.
Yo ho ho. What's up, everybody? I appreciate being here. Thanks for having me on, Darva.
No problem. No problem. Hope the journey wasn't a little bit too rough with the seas and all.
You know how it is. Rough waters. It is winter, but you know, you make do.
Though I guess in order for you to be a pirate, you have to be able to handle the rough waters in all sorts of forms, right?
Oh yeah. I'm just not allowed to steer. My sense of direction is absolutely abysmal.
You have someone else steering for you?
Oh yeah. That's what my first mate Seto is for. Seto handles all navigational purposes. I'm just here to keep the morale. I'm the face. You know, I lead the crew and I delegate properly, but you know, I'm not allowed to hold the map, as it were. and if I was, I'd probably be holding it upside down.
So what you lack in sense of direction, you have in sense of purpose.
Exactly. It's all about fortitude. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you gotta have that tenacity. Just keep going, even if you're going in the wrong direction. You don't ask for directions. You just keep going and just follow that circle.
I mean, in any case, sometimes you wouldn't need directions if you're looking for treasure. Sometimes it just happens along the way.
Listen, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey and the adventure along the way. Exactly.
So, I guess we got a good amount of questions for you, Mr. J. Or
all
rather,
right. I'm definitely interested.
So, first, or more of a tangential question: is it Mr. J or Captain Mr. J?
You know, usually it's just Captain J. The Mister is just for people who don't know me formally. You know, the Mister's more of a title. It's either Captain J or, you know, if you get to know me well enough, it's just J. But you know, you got to earn that privilege.
Okay, so there's a bit of a hierarchy, or a little bit of a, how would I put it? Maybe you can help me out here with the word I'm looking for.
It's more of like an honorific kind of thing, yeah.
There we go. So, Mr. J, I guess we can kind of first start off with your introduction. So you can just go ahead and just introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. I am Mr. J, captain of the Degen Pirates. My crew and I are a lovable band of degenerates that seek adventure, culture, memes, adventure, even more so, waifus, husbandos, and treasure to fuel our crippling gacha addiction.
Gacha addiction.
Indeed.
Like, how deep does the gacha addiction go?
Let's just say, we're constantly moving down the sea to avoid particular loan sharks.
Oh, God. Never in my wildest dreams I would imagine like the naval version of the IRS.
Oh man, you don't know the half of it. There's not there's most of our budget that doesn't go to gacha has to go to cannon fire just to avoid things.
I guess also investing in smoke screens might help too.
Man, let me tell you, ammunition is not cheap.
And neither is pleasure.
No, it is not.
All right. So, in your lore, you did mention your little history with the Navy, so we're going to be starting with that first.
Yeah.
So, was there any. Well, you did mention that your home was attacked by the Navy at certain points.
Well, yeah. We'll see. So what happened was I'd grown up in a Navy town, a town that had a centralized Navy base,
Mm-hmm.
and as a child, I heard all these great stories of the Navy being pillars of justice, and always seeking to do what's right, defend the innocent, and all those romanticized fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then our town was ransacked, and then you know I had joined the Navy because I was just a starry-eyed kid at the time, and when my superior officer was caught up in this scandal of not defending one of the not defending a base properly, he had to find the fall guy, and of course the eager rookie it was the one to take the bait.
Mm.
And so I had to do what I had to do what I had to do. I freed a slave, a enslaved Leviathan, and the two of us set off, and we started our career ever since. And then ever since then, the government's been putting out all kinds of propaganda, labeling me as a pirate, a degenerate. Really, all I do is just I'm just out here sailing the seas, having fun. I don't pillage, I don't plunder. I may occasionally get into debt and over gamble,
Mm-hmm.
but vices. What can you do?
Right,
But
right.
I never intentionally cause mass destruction. Now, it may follow me sometimes, but I never intentionally cause mass destruction.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to the person that kind of threw you under the bus, would you say you would see them as like a person of interest in kind of getting back at them? Do
Oh,
you know like a
100%.
name?
100%. That particular captain is definitely on my shit list, and if we ever cross paths, oh man, my bounty will definitely go up after that point. That's
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Do you have a name?
His name is Captain Richards, Nathaniel Richards,
Hmm.
my sworn enemy.
And the time that you saw Captain Richards, what was he? What was he like? Did he carry like a special sword or a special kind of equipment with him, or did he have some sort of entourage with him? What was he about?
Oh, well, during our last scuffle before I escaped, I managed to leave my mark.
Hmm.
The captain's missing an eye and a
Oh.
hand.
Oh. So I guess he isn't much of a skilled fighter than he was crept up to be.
Oh no. Oh no. I mean, granted, I was pretty talented in swordsmanship in the academy, but I wasn't like top of my class or anything. I just got lucky and wasn't afraid to take cheap shots, if I'm being honest.
Hmm. Did whatever it took in order to actually get that leverage over him.
Yeah. I guess that's why the pirate life suited me. Maybe I just wasn't meant to play by the book.
Hmm. Now, going a little bit grander, was there ever a point where you plotted a rebellion with like maybe some sympathizer or other pirates in order to lead a charge against the Navy after they pretty much ransacked your home?
Tried. I've definitely tried. Um, you know, rallying a cause is definitely a difficult endeavor. But you know, my hope is as my voice gets out there and people hear my story and understand my plight, they'll join up. You don't necessarily have to be part of my main crew, but the fleet is ever expanding. I'm always accepting of allies 100%. Doesn't have to be monetary donations. It doesn't have to be weapons. It can just be letting it be known that all the things said about me out there, it's all propaganda. I just want justice for my people.
Mm-hmm. I see. Now, over in your crew, did you ever have anybody that was like ex-Navy? Or someone that was kind of like disillusioned from the Navy in general?
There weren't that many. I was the only rebellious one from my particular class at the academy. Everyone else kind of just, they held their ideals. They felt that everything was an accident. They thought I was overreacting, and they bought it. They bought into it.
But do you
I
think...
mean,
I'm sorry.
I'm sure there are other jaded officers out there. And hey, if you're listening, you can do a lot more good out there on your own than being the lapdogs of a government that doesn't really care about you.
And I guess we can also probably say, would you say you have someone in that Navy that you could see as a rival?
I mean, there was Richard's kid Franklin. That brat. He always thought he was hot shit because I come from a long line of distinguished officers. My daddy runs the base. I'm gonna be your boss one day. Blah 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 blah. But he got his ass kicked in every training session we were in.
I practically ran circles around him. Definitely got him a little saltier.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely salt there, but that's just because sometimes the promotions are down to nepotism and not skill. That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure after you defecting to Life of Piracy, I'm pretty sure that definitely got him a little bit more heated than normal, and probably after you a lot harder than Mr. Richards.
And it gives him a lot. It gives him a lot of justification to come after me. I wounded his dad not only physically but his oversized ego, and tarnished his family's honor. But it's not like they had honor to begin with.
I can see the clash being quite substantial.
Yeah, well, I'm still here, so clearly they're not doing their job correctly.
I'm pretty sure they're not, but I'm guessing they're licking their wounds wherever they can, but also gathering as many strong fighters along with them. But I'm pretty sure you are doing the same too, right?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, my first mate, Mr. Seto, he is a Leviathan, a strong creature within his own right. Honestly, he has the fortitude himself to be his own captain, but out of loyalty to me for rescuing him on my way out of the base, we've stuck together ever since. So he's a good guy. Honestly, I definitely recommend maybe bringing him on after this. He's got his own promising career in our space that I definitely think deserves to keep an eye on. And I'm not just saying that because I'm his captain.
Right. Yeah, you gave him like some high honors at that point too. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's gotten me out of a lot of jams, that one.
Mm-hmm. And what are exactly Leviathans? Are they like fish people, or is this something different?
From what I understand, and he could correct me if I'm wrong, at a later point. But from what I understand, they are humanoid creatures with fish-like properties. Mm-hmm. he can't sustain himself on land, but every day, at least once a day, he has to submerge himself back in. Get his water, fill his gills back up, and uh, his strength is doubled, even or so underwater. However, because of living in the environments he did growing up under intense pressures and whatnot of the deep oceans, he's a lot more durable, a lot more physically strong, and very agile as well.
Hmm. So does he kind of like sail along with the ship as well, or is he sometimes
Yeah.
above surface?
Most of the time he's kind of like he's sailing along the ship. He's silent. A lot of the rest of the general crew doesn't really know he's there, and most of the time he doesn't like being announced. But of course, given his high position, I always have to welcome him whenever he shows up. You know, because growing in the system of the Navy, such a rigid hierarchy where your officers always have to be kept in line. I'm not one to do that. I let my people do their own thing. If they want to run their own ships, they want to stay at particular places. That's fine, because in my book, if you sail with me, whether it be a day, a month, a year, or 10 years, you're always going to be part of my crew. And I know for a fact, if I need you and I put the call out, you'll come.
Hmm. Yeah, so you have a really tight bond with your crew then.
Exactly. The intention is I foster a strong sense of loyalty, but not necessarily a permanent tether. Your duty to me as members of my crew isn't to serve. We help each other reach our dreams. That's the goal that I, set out when I made this crew and my expanding fleet. But, I don't want to get in other people, in their way as well. If they have something they need to do that doesn't involve me, by all means, I believe in freedom above anything else.
Hmm. So I guess I want to kind of get a bigger picture of what your world looks like. How big is your sea exactly, or the countries and stuff like that?
It's about normal, continent size. The oceans themselves aren't as turbulent as you would expect, but most of the waters are pretty calm, depending on the season. Where I originated from was more in the southern area, so it was a lot warmer. So as I started traveling north, definitely had to adjust the temperatures. I've gotten to know a lot of people, different cultures, different walks of life. And it's definitely helped to expand my horizons. The world is such a beautiful place, and I don't know if I would be able to experience it in the same way if I was tethered to a base like I would have if I had actually just stuck with the Navy.
Hmm. And how would you describe more of what the technology around there? Is it more like simple and rudimentary, or is there some instances where there's like a lot of quote unquote high tech there too?
Definitely, pretty rudimentary, especially considering how. I mean, of course, we had our advancements in broadcasting are pretty immense. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to be talking to you right now.
Hmm.
But you know, in terms of naval technology, I myself, I have a simple sailing ship. Made of durable. wood, from a very prestigious lumber yard. But since I don't have the same budget as other bigger naval powers, I don't have access to like battleships or proper metals and such. So I'm at a massive disadvantage. However, I have a couple tricks up my sleeve that protect me from the more advanced technology. I may have a friend or two that is gifted in the mystic arts to help counteract these technological gaps.
Mystic arts?
Yeah, magic and technology, constant conflicting forces.
Yep. I guess that's one way of putting it. It's always going to be a battle between science and magic, even though they're kind of one and the same, but it's just different schools of thought.
Exactly.
I should know that myself, because I have giant robots hanging around here, so there's that little tidbit.
Oh, man. See, after this, you and I need to talk about some upgrades, because I could definitely use some help in terms of, armaments and fortifications.
Mm-hmm. Hey, weapons is what I specialize in the most, as far as like other things, and maybe cybernetic prosthetics too. So in case someone else is not on your crew, I guess I can whip up a few things with the right schematics.
All right, good to know.
But
good to know.
I guess in order to avoid possible claims of witchcraft, which could possibly be one of those things that the Navy does not like, or maybe has like a bit of a black label on, considering they will probably want to save that for more significant raids and going up against much stronger pirates.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess we might as well just stealth it as like Steam-based technology, steampunk.
Wait, can't put all your cards on the table.
Nah, that's a little bit too fast for advancement anyway. And besides, you don't want the Navy to kind of get a hold of that technology either.
Oh man, that would definitely be a worst case scenario.
Yeah. So I'll definitely keep that in mind somewhere down the future.
Yeah, no, definitely appreciate it.
And speaking of like other pirates, was there a particular pirate that you looked up to on your way out of the Navy?
Oh, I definitely heard stories all throughout of different captains all throughout history, and that there was a particular captain that I definitely aspired to be like. Went by the name of Bartholomew Roberts, the gentleman pirate. He himself, was ruthless on the seas to his enemies, but in any town he passed by that treated him well, he showered them equally in riches, and tried to enrich the different communities he passed through. And that's the kind of thing I aspire to do, because even though I'm sailing the seas as a wanted criminal, there's still that spark of hope in me that wants to try and make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Sorry about the background noise. We got animals below deck, and they're getting a little feisty.
None taken. I'm pretty sure if I have animals of my own, they'll try sneaking into my part of the base. But I make sure to just keep them shooed away or have the door closed, just for a good measure.
Mm-hmm.
After all, there are some dimensional instabilities anyway, so some things from other parts of the world may like seep in. So,
oh yeah,
it does have its.
Let me tell you, if you've ever seen a dog and a monkey get into a fight, it is quite an interesting sight to behold.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure the crew puts a few bets here and there on seeing who's gonna win.
Now, see, everybody thinks I'm the brains of the operation, but see, my friend here on my shoulder, he's the one that gets me out of most trouble.
What's this little fella's name?
And his name is Mappo, the mischievous monkey. No, Don't let it be fooled. He's not your normal banana eater either. He prefers a more spicier palate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude's addicted to all these different exotic peppers, and he just loves the spice. I don't know what it is. He's an odd monkey.
Yeah.
Found him when I was traveling around and discovered this hot spring, and it was his home. And his family ended up being pursued by some poachers. Luckily, we managed to free them, but little fella took a liking to me. So I told him, if he wanted to come along, he could come along, and we haven't parted ways ever since.
Mm-hmm. And little dude definitely has the poker face going on. He's all smiles, but I'm pretty sure he's very calculated in the things that he does.
Oh yeah, you never know what he's thinking, and that's the dangerous part. Mm-hmm. Always scheming this one.
I'm pretty sure we're also gonna have a point where he's probably even gonna talk too, right?
Oh no! If he could speak, we'd all be in danger. That's for sure. I don't know if even my oration skills would be able to match his if he had the capability of proper human speech.
Okay, so he's probably just holding back then.
Rightfully so.
God. That's true. Apes. But I guess we'll have him as the ace in the hole once we get to a more particular part in time, right?
Yeah, for sure. Listen, and also having a liaison, among animals definitely helps in travels. You got if you have someone to directly communicate, and sick a few wild beasts on some unsuspecting naval officers, it definitely comes in handy.
Mm-hmm. And also, I guess it's just rapid communication too, with him being able to carry a message from one ship to another.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about it being intercepted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I doubt anybody could catch him once he starts swinging around, climbing trees and such.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the small size makes stealth pretty easy.
Yeah. I think it just functions as a nice little reconnaissance, too.
Exactly.
And I guess it also functions as a bit of a mascot for your crew as well, considering...
Everybody loves Mappo. Mm-hmm. Could not do, what I do without him. That's for sure.
Alright. So, how big is your crew so far?
Say, if we're counting the crew and the entire extended fleet, obviously not all of them fit on to one ship. We have a bit of a fleet, more of it's more of like an entourage of several accompanying ships with my ship, the Puckish Rogue, being the flagship. We're a little over 200 strong.
200.
Just a small force.
200 definitely does not sound small. Well, I guess in comparison to the Navy, but even though it's still a pretty sizable number.
I mean, it's very rare that we're all together in one place. It's always a matter of actually sending out the call. On a regular basis, we have the standard 20 to 30. It takes a lot to manage a ship. If we're talking about just the main flagship, we've got maybe the standard 20 to 30 members at a time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of maintenance, of course, repairs, feeding everyone, most important part.
Yep.
So one of the biggest causes of deaths out to sea is scurvy. We always got to keep stocked. we've got to have the proper cook and you know, engineers, our navigators, just small staff. I know I just casually said, like, I know I just casually said 200, but like I said, that's only the during the big occasions when we have a big mission to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Taking down a base, defending my hometown, which I've claimed as my own territory, as it were, since it's kind of become a no man's land to the Navy nowadays.
Right. But it's out of their hands. It's in yours. That's much better off.
I'd like to think so. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's my hope, at least.
Okay. And you said your name of your ship was what again?
The Puckish Rogue.
How'd you manage to come up with that name?
It kind of stuck just because of it's how myself and my people have been described several times, so it just kind of stuck.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that your crewmates are also kind of called the Rogues Gallery then, by proxy? I mean, that would probably make a lot of sense.
We are definitely someone's rogue gallery, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess in your tenure at sea, have you ever run into any very strong or very formidable pirates along the way too?
Oh, for sure. There are still pirates out there that I don't even mess with. I'm a pretty confident guy, but even I know my limits. And honestly, there's still a lot of pirates that I would like to learn from. I'm sure there are bigger names out there that have been at the game way longer than I have. I'm still pretty green. I've only been active maybe 4 or 5 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
So a blip in the grand scheme of things. I know there are some pirates out there who have been at this for multiple decades and still haven't been caught. My dream is to one day leave my mark and be mentioned in the annals of history with those same great men and women.
Mm-hmm. I see. I guess it kind of also does kind of go back to like my previous question of like who you looked up to, but was there someone that you also feared or revered in name alone?
Oh man, there are so many. I mean, the, of course, I imagine he exists in multiple dimensions. Just given how revered he is, Davy Jones,
Oh.
the devil of the sea. His reputation is vast. I'm sure. No matter. You're not the first outsider I've come across. From different worlds, different spaces, and somehow yet his name is still known.
Yep.
The phrase being sent to Davy Jones' locker isn't just a thing. The man was so wild, the legends say, that he himself controls hell from the depths of the sea.
Hmm. Yeah, that's quite the reputation to have, especially have your name just practically echo through all parts of any kind of universe.
Exactly. Now, I personally am not after infamy, but definitely that's a name that inspires chills even down my hardened spine.
Mm-hmm. I guess no one wants to play around Davy Jones' locker in any stretch of the mall.
Oh no. Oh, you couldn't pay me enough.
Hmm. But I guess the sea is also full of a myriad of various creatures as well, especially ones larger than life, maybe even ones
Oh
that
yeah.
have torn down ships. Have you ever had any kind of bad run ins with those particular creatures?
I have actually had a run in. I have actually had a run in with a kraken once,
Oh.
and oh man, let me tell you, those things are dangerous. People think it's the tentacles you need to watch out for, which yes, true. Those things definitely are strong and deadly, but it's the beak. The beak is serrated, and you do not want to go anywhere near that. It tore through a good portion of my one of my allies' ships when we were trying to raid a particular cove that we had heard was, home of a legendary treasure. Little did we know it was guarded by a kraken.
Oh.
We didn't get away with the treasure, but we got away with our lives, and I don't know about you, but I feel like that's a little bit more important.
No, that's definitely a much bigger victory than going away with the treasure. As long as you're still alive, that's definitely the most important thing to have.
Oh yeah, you know what they say. Dead men tell no tales.
And dead men never hold on to riches either.
Yeah.
Only those that die with the riches are able to say that, but as he said, dead men tell no tales.
Listen, the way I see it, man, you're not gonna be able to spend it no matter where you go, no matter what you believe in. So while you have it, spend it on what makes you happy.
Yep.
It's just, some people may say that's my own personal justification for my gotcha addiction, but I'd like to think that's just a personal life philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, let me see what else we got. All right. So, what would you say is the ultimate treasure that you're looking for?
Now, are we talking about in a material sense or like a metaphorical / metaphysical sense?
I guess we can kind of go with both questions in this regard.
Well, I mean, monetarily, the biggest score I would love to hit is the Navy's treasure.
Oh,
Oh, robbing those bastards blind would bring me no greater joy. Oh man, that's the score I'm hoping for. Now, if we're talking in the metaphysical sense, or just metaphorical, the treasure that I'm seeking, honestly, is just connection. I want to be able, that picture of the Navy I had as a child, of those bringers of justice, those good people who stand up for those who can't fight for themselves. That's what I want to be. I couldn't do it as an officer, but I damn sure can do it as a pirate.
mm-hmm. And once you do kind of score that material treasure, would you say you are pretty much done with being a pirate, or do you think there are more treasures out there in the world that you want to get your hands on?
Now, the romantic in me would say, there's never an end to the journey. There's always more treasure. However, the realist in me would say, as soon as I hit that big score, I'm retiring, and then I'm gonna take a good chunk of it, bury it somewhere, and leave it for some young pirate down in the future to aspire to get. Make it somebody else's goal, somebody else's dream. I want to inspire the next generation to follow in my footsteps. Do what I do. Keep that dream alive.
See, I see.
Because, in a greater sense, the treasure I'm looking for is immortality, but not necessarily in the literal sense. Because the way I see it, men only truly die when they're forgotten. And hopefully, by the time my journey's done, no one will ever forget the name of Captain J of the D-Gen Pirates.
See, I see. And I guess probably have like one final question, or maybe some questions that are kind of circling in my head at the moment. But
Sure, feel free. I'm all ears.
would you be using the treasure from the Navy to kind of help rebuild your home that was ransacked?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. I would like to obviously rebuild my home to its former glory and then some, and hopefully maybe with these financial resources we could get a bigger play on the world stage and maybe enact bigger changes to the overall structure of the world itself, so that a tragedy like this would never happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Again, lofty goals, but I can't help it. I'm a dreamer. That's just how I've always been.
I see. Well, may your dreams never die to any stretch of the mile.
Here's hoping.
Here, here. Okay, so I think we got a good amount of time for opening questions for in character time. So
Okay, cool.
I guess if anybody's here to kind of like take a little bit of a break or just kind of get something going, feel free to use this as an opportunity to just lay something on Mr. J over here. Or if you have someone within your own crew that has like some questions of their own to ask, hey, by all means, you can relay it to me so I can just
Let
see if I
me
can get that.
see. Doesn't seem like anybody. It doesn't seem like anybody's interested in submitting anything right now. I guess everybody that's been sailing with me already knows what they need to know about me.
Hmm.
Yeah, quiet on my end, from what I can see.
I guess it's a calm seas from there on.
Hey, I count my blessings while I can have them.
Hmm. Uh-oh. Seems like I was seeing some dimensional interference at the moment, so bear with us. It's looking stable now.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep. Also, if anyone has questions, make sure to highlight them too, so I can catch on to it pretty quickly. But we have something from Seiko Cat as one rogue to another. How often do you see quote unquote accidents?
Since, in my line of work, there's no such thing as accidents. If it happens, that's just what the universe willed it to be. You kind of just roll with it and keep it pushing. So that's my way of saying they happen a lot. You just learn to live with them.
Mm-hmm. I see. And pretty sure every pirate has like some sort of song to sing, right? Or at least something that's on your mind that could be like used as an anthem.
Oh man, I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a singer per se. I mean, we do occasionally do the regular shanty. We have a pretty killer karaoke night on the ship every now and again. It used to be a monthly thing, but then we got complaints.
Complaints?
We got complaints because usually we dock into the nearest town. Take up residence for a bit at a bar, and party, have a bit of a karaoke night, and then we got complaints. We got shoot off of several towns. Some people just don't know talent when they see them, but I totally get it. My voice isn't for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna subject your viewers to it. But next time I do have a karaoke night and I broadcast it, I'll definitely let you guys know if you want to subject your ears to torture, or you got some enemies you want to interrogate. Definitely the the footage to play.
Yeah, right. Oh, I guess there's a bit of clarification from the previous question. Oh no, I'm talking about like accidental friendly fire.
Hmm. Well, see, we definitely we definitely try to practice safety as best as we can, but not everybody's a trained marksman. That's why you always have medical staff on hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely happened a couple times, but we definitely keep our like to keep our skills sharp, especially since we're more often than not on the run. So if it happens, it happens. Listen, as long as the responsible parties take accountability and apologize and cover the injured party's medical expenses. There's no there's no hard feelings there. Otherwise, they'll have to settle it themselves.
I guess that's how the cookie crumbles there.
Yep. But see, that's why I don't really I don't really rely on firearms myself. I prefer the up close and personal. My weapon of choice is of course a cutlass, a sword.
Mm-hmm. And how confident would you say you are in your sword skills on top of like everything else?
I would definitely say swordsmanship is something that I can pride myself in. As long as I can see my opponent and they don't resort to trickery like hiding in mazes where I just will endlessly get lost. More often than not, I can get the job done.
That seems like a very specific thing since you mentioned mazes.
Well, let's just say it's happened more than once. Do you know how common a trope it is to have your elaborate treasure, your elaborate vast treasure hidden deep within the recesses of an ancient maze?
I can kind of level there to some degree.
Too common for my taste. Thank you.
Mm.
Too common for my taste. I almost starved to death once. It was not a good time.
Mm. And I'm pretty sure it was laden with like booby traps and whatnot too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Luckily, that I ended up running into a pair of snakes, and let me tell you, snake tastes just like chicken.
uh, that kind of reminds me of one thing. Still in a dream. Snake eater.
Classic.
Definitely a classic. I didn't know that song actually made its way into like the olden times.
Hey, a lot of things travel through rifts. That's just how it is. Some people, I'm a firm believer in science. Most people where I'm from consider this magic, but you know, you make friends with enough advanced minds, yeah, you can achieve pretty great things. Like I said, the fact that I'm able to communicate with you right now, that's a miracle within itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we also got a question from Matcha, our previous
Matcha,
guest.
Matcha, I love Matcha. How you doing, Matcha? Good to see you.
Yep, they asked, "Where will you be? Where? Let me just get this, get the gears rolling. Where will you be for your next adventures and your future endeavors?"
Well, I'm not one to give away my position, but you know, like I said, I'm constantly building up to that big score. But honestly, I'd be somewhere off in a nice tropical island. Nice good breeze, beautiful beaches, beautiful women. Just a nice time to relax. As much as I love traveling and being around, sometimes you just like to just plant your feet and just stay in one place for a bit.
Mm-hmm. I see. I see. And I guess you were also a previous patient of the dispensary too. So how was your experience there?
Yeah, not bad at all. Definitely enjoyable. That's for sure.
uh, wait, you have like no memory of what happened, or
Honestly, a lot of stuff went down. A lot of drinks and illicit substances were had. Memory's a bit fuzzy. You know,
that sounds like a.
normally this would be the portion where I'd be like, I don't want to incriminate myself, but then I remembered I'm a criminal. What does it matter?
uh, I guess I don't want to prod a little bit further unless if I want to become a patient at the dispensary too. So I'll just refrain from asking further questions at that point.
That's probably for the best.
But if I start having some strange behavior after a certain point, you'll know why.
Well, hey, I could definitely send you a guy. Fix you up right quick.
Also, another question from Zago. Have you ever seen a siren?
Have. They are extremely beautiful, and you might want. And if you ever have the pleasure, be sure to have earplugs on hand. They are screamers.
Oh. I'm guessing you had a bit of a tangle with one before?
I'm not one to kiss and tell, so I'm just gonna keep this one quiet. I have it. I have an aquatic member of my crew. Mr. Seto may have introduced me to a lovely young sea woman or two.
Mm-hmm.
My crew loves to joke around, and no matter what, no matter how much I like to call myself a gentleman, they always call me a fuckboy.
Oh, your crew just loves to cook you alive, don't they?
Listen, it never fails. All right, look, that's just how we show. That's just how we show love to each other. On my ship, man. It's just constant. It's constant roasting. If you're not being made fun of, either on some kind of deep emotional level, then you're really not a member of the crew. We don't like you for real. Like that's just how it is.
I guess that's how it usually works. Once you have like a bit of a comfortable bond, you just kind of rib each other every now and then too.
Listen, it's how you build that sense of camaraderie, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you know each other well enough,
Yep.
that's just how it is.
She has especially don't have those, but we do have some really special, massive spatial anomalies. Would you have anything that would be like considered as like anomalies in your area too? Maybe like strange occurrences.
Huh. Well, I mean, I have seen particular areas of the ocean where ships have been known to disappear and then reappear, but their crew is nowhere to be found.
Oh Jesus!
But hey, those places are a bit dangerous. But those ghost ship graveyards, oh man, those are places just ripe for the taking. Let me tell you. You just gotta know the right people to exercise. Ghosts are something you definitely don't want to deal with.
Oh, definitely not.
Although I do know, my ship does have its own ghost. She's very nice. She helps us, commune with the spirits, and we have a pretty positive relationship with them. That way, we don't, have to deal with any malevolent catastrophes. but you know, I like to align myself with people all across the spectrum. You know,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be mythical, mystical, technologically advanced, or just your average Joe. Everybody has their place.
I see, I see. It still kind of baffles me they actually have like a friendly ghost on hand. How'd that even happen in the first place?
Listen, if you got enough charisma, you can make friends with pretty much anybody.
Mm-hmm. Is this what the new people are saying, like the Riz or something like that?
Listen, I don't try to keep up with what the kids say these days,
Hmm. I see.
but I would say so. Yes.
I guess there's something that we old men actually understand pretty well is that New England never really sits well with us.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But man, I would love to be able to travel space one day. Oh man, just to be among the stars. That's unexplored territory that I would be very interested in seeing. I mean, sure, the seas have their own mysteries, but like the stars. Wow, that's just such a vast area of just pure unknown. The amount of adventure that could be had there, that's unparalleled.
Hmm. I mean, it would be pretty awesome to have like a pirate that once sailed the sea, sailed the stars too.
Man, being a space pirate, now that's some next level stuff right there.
I think we have Riptide, who is a space pirate as well, so he might be able to give you some pointers there.
Oh, I would definitely be interested. I would definitely be interested.
Okay, we got a question from your average mecha. What's the worst adventure you've gone on?
Hmm. Hmm. Well, like I said, the aforementioned Tango with the Kraken. Uh, we lost several ships that day, and not a single coin to show for
Hmm.
it. Luckily, luckily I say I saved the shipwright a couple years back, so he owed me a favor. So I didn't have to deal with actually paying out of pocket for the repairs.
Oh, that's nice.
But it was a rough time. Luckily, minimal casualties, but it was still a rough time.
Hmm. Yep, a kraken, a giant octopus or squid, technically.
Yep, it all depends on the species. It all depends on the species.
Yep.
All still taste like takoyaki.
I mean, that would probably be like that would definitely be like a huge meal to kind of make out of it.
Oh
But
yeah, you'd be able to feed an entire nation off of that.
oh yeah, but I guess that's what makes them a little bit more dangerous considering their size.
Oh yeah, definitely ferocious.
I'm not looking
Yeah,
forward to going to
it's always
QC.
interesting to talking to people from different worlds and dimensions. Whenever I talk about where I'm from, they view it as some kind of fantastical place. Where I'm just like, oh, this is average. Sirens, krakens, sea witches, sea nymphs. That's just kind of the norm.
Hmm.
You're telling me magic isn't just kind of a everyday occurrence for you guys? Huh?
Well, I guess in my place, they're practically just living amongst the living, so yeah, it's pretty much a common occurrence for me. But I don't know about everybody else. I mean, considering that the VTuber world is essentially a much more vast and I would almost say
It's
expansive.
it's a connected multiverse, man. There are people from all different walks of life, all different paths, creatures. I mean, that's what I love about the community, man. Everyone can be here and exist, and with no fear of being judged, and we can build our own communities, our own crews. It's great.
Hmm.
That's what I love about it.
I guess that's one of the many merits that we have about that. And we got wormholes, so that's the one thing we got going. Uh huh.
Oh
Not saying it.
man.
Are there like whirlpools that have like led people to other places, or maybe like cloudbursts have done the same thing?
So I've heard. I heard one story at a bar once, although I don't know if I trust the guy because he was drunk out of his mind. But he mentioned that he piloted a submarine and he ended up caught in this whirlpool that led him to this what he believed to be subterranean world where dinosaurs still existed, and
That
it was a wild tale.
dinosaurs.
I don't know whether I believe that or not, but I've seen crazier things, so I'm inclined to. But again, the guy was drunk out of his mind, so
Hmm.
grain of salt.
I mean, it would definitely be hard to believe the stories of a drunkard, but a drunkard that has actually been through that particular thing, I'm pretty sure there's a good reason why he's that way.
Probably so. Personally, I wouldn't want to tangle with a dinosaur. Although dinosaurs are pretty cool.
Yeah, especially if you realize which one is carnivorous and which one is herbivore. Then
Yep.
there's
Yep.
omnivores, so there's that thing.
Yeah. You don't want to take your chances there.
Yep. I mean, if anything, there's like one particular dinosaur that could pretty much headbutt you to death if you're not careful.
Oh, the Pachycephalosaurus.
I'm surprised you actually knew that off the top of your head.
That's after. Look, it's one of my favorite dinosaurs, and I was introduced to this game called Pokemon, and it happens to be one of my Craniodos and Rampardos happen to be two of my favorites.
Hmm. Okay, so some advanced technology does slip into your world every now and then if you know about that game.
Listen, like I said, rifts are pretty common here. I mean, I happen to broadcast whatever games I happen to get my hands on here.
Hmm. It seems to be a common occurrence too, considering it.
Yeah, yeah, when you can do it multiple times a week, you find a way. You know, I happen to chart the different spots in the world where these rifts happen to regularly come up. So to collect things and sell wares, but I keep the interesting stuff for myself, as you naturally would.
Hmm. And I guess I have one silver bullet question for you, since you are the resident gotcha spender.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a particular, let's say, lady that you fancy in
Hmm.
these gotcha universes?
Hmm. Well, okay, so Fate Grand Order was my first gotcha. That was my first foray into this wonderful, dangerous world of excessive spending. And it's where I built a lot of the community I have here now, and so I'm always gonna have a lot of love for it. And the character, the lady that got me to spend, I am not going to disclose the number, but it is not in the it's not in the quadruple digits, but maybe triple. I'm not going to confirm or deny any of that. But it is a character named Ereshkigal from Fate Grand Order. She is my number one waifu, and no matter how many gacha games I play, which by the way is only two, it's only two. She's always going to be my number one. In fact, I love the character so much that her likeness is in my stash of emotes for my channel.
Hmm.
She's happened. She also has become a bit of a mascot for the community.
Ah, nice, nice. Also, another question from Seiko. Have you ever seen a giant metal man with horns fall from the sky, asking for reasons?
No, but I'll keep a lookout. I'll
Hmm.
definitely keep a lookout. Now, I have, and if I were to come across such a guy, I mean, that jumping from the sky for no reason just sounds like some suicidal tendencies. I'm not want to send that guy to go seek some therapy. But that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. But then again, who would be tossed from the sky in the first place?
Yeah, some people just want to jump. Oh man.
But I guess if no one has any further questions, I guess we can end off our episode here.
Once again, thank you for having me on, Darva. It's been great. It's been a pleasure.
No problem at all. It's definitely been an enjoyable moment that we spent together, so might as well just enjoy it the best way we can.
All right, well, I guess it's time for me to cast off.
All right. Do you have a special kind of greeting or farewell?
Well, I appreciate you being I appreciate being here, and yeah, if you guys want to catch me, I'm sure Star will put the call out, but yeah, my goal overall is to seek adventure, fun, waifus, husbandos, and most importantly, one day I will leave my mark on the world and possibly, quite possibly, become king of the pirate VTubers.
Mm-hmm. And also, do you have any special events or anything that you have planned going on later on in the future?
Nothing too big. I did recently stumble upon a new JRPG based on a franchise that I personally love and inspired a lot of what I am today. I'm doing a playthrough on my channel of One Piece Odyssey, the newest JRPG to drop from the team who did the wonderful Dragon Quest XI. It's a really fun game. I am having a blast with it. If you happen to be a One Piece fan, and you want to see just fun gameplay, a story that is a complete love letter to the franchise, definitely check it out. If you happen to watch me stream it, be patient with me. I get lost a lot, but don't worry. I control Zoro while I'm lost, so it's accurate.
Yeah, because he has no mini map.
Exactly. But yeah, so we have a lot of fun times over there. I play a wide variety of games. Like I said, plenty of gacha. I do Nikkei streams on Monday. Nikkei is another fun game that I got highly addicted to. Darva and I bonded over both our mutual enjoyment of that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun.
It definitely is.
And I also host a podcast that's bi-weekly. We do it every other week. It's called Channel Chasers. We cover various TV shows that come out on Netflix, Hulu, various other streaming services, and different TV networks. This coming Saturday, obviously not today, but next week, we'll be covering, I believe it's called Kaleidoscope, this new Netflix series that's been going around lately that came out like last week. It's super popular. Netflix it randomizes the episode order, but you can watch it in any order as long as you watch the last episode last. It's a heist show that stars Giancarlo Esposito. If you don't know who Giancarlo Esposito is, he is the guy who played Gus from Breaking Bad, as well as a wide variety of other manipulative villain characters. I haven't started it yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about the show, and I can't wait to talk about it with my good friend Brian and hopefully some of you guys. So look forward to that.
All right. And with that's all, folks. Hope you had a wonderful time with the stream with another episode of In Character Universe. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Catch you later. Safe travels.
So wait, maybe we can do a bit of like a post-episode stream too, if you're down with that, right?
Yeah, no, I'd totally be down with that.
All right. So,
just let me know. Yeah, if I've got a gap in my schedule and we can line it up, sure, I would totally be down to come back.
Alrighty.
All right, man, it was fun. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. No problem.
All right, let me know what the reception's like. I definitely, if people want me back, I will definitely come back.
Right.
All right, cool. Later, man.
Later. All right, so yeah, I'm really liking how this is shaping up. I really am. Really am. It is one thing I'm certainly proud of. I am proud of just kind of creating this bridge. Hopefully, I can actually get across to the point where I can be able to like speak to anybody at varying sizes, small, big, newcomers, and established names here and there. Allure should never be pushed to the side as like a whole sub thing. That's pretty much my philosophy behind it. Everybody has a story to tell. Gonna be an actual bridge. I mean, I don't think I can actually build a bridge with all with the lack of materials that I have, but I can build like a bit of a metaphorical one. I can definitely do that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that in particular, but for all intents and purposes, I'm doing whatever I can in order to just at least be the same as Jay. Leave my mark on the world, whenever and however I can. If I can do that with having a good time in the same process, that's more of an accomplishment in my book than anything else. But I've droned on long enough. It's about time that I set y'all free and loose y'all into some other dimension. Oh, and I think I do have this too. Raid. Also, the Schwab has lost a railgun, so if you run into anyone that has seen it, see it fall, holler. Okay, I gotcha. Let's see. I'm gonna send y'all to Ray Shadow. He's currently playing Armor Core Nexus, so yeah. Let's have some fun there, shall we?